What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Bluebird Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Eddie Hearn had held negotiations with Dillian Whyte yesterday. He had to reach back out to Gerald Big Baby Miller and tell Gerald Big Baby Miller to stand on guard because it's looking more and more like Gerald Big Baby Miller is going to be the opponent for Anthony Joshua in June, due to the fact that Dillian Whyte is now asking for a later date, claiming that April 13th date is too close, that Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn waited too long. He needs more than 11 weeks of a training camp to prepare for this fight. And his asking price for the fight, as I stated before, is at least $7 million. I don't know if Dillian Whyte at this point is just playing hardball, you know, to up the ante, you know, but Dillian Whyte has been stating for quite some time that he wanted to have, he wanted to be prepared and have a long training camp for this fight. My thing with this is Dillian Whyte should have already been training and preparing, because that date has already been set in stone. So it's not like the date caught him off guard and is forcing him, you know, in a short time period, due to the fact that negotiations, because they had that date since November of last year, you know, of 2018. They were actually waiting to see when Anthony Joshua was ready to negotiate with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. December 2nd, they kept saying that because Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder on December 1st, and they were saying December 2nd, we're looking to negotiate with him. December 2nd, the very next day. And so they were saying that already weeks before the fight even arose, the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight. So this is nothing new. This date has already been set in stone. At this point in time, I think that Dillian Whyte is playing hardball. He's trying to drag out the negotiations. I mean, he's trying to get his worth out of the fight, you know. I believe that's what Dillian Whyte is doing at this point in time. He's using it as a tactic because, like I stated before, Gerald Big Baby Miller and Dillian Whyte need to stand their ground, due to the fact that they have no other where to go. They have no other real options to go. They don't have a lot of different options for that April 13th date. And like I stated before, you know that Eddie Hearn has an obligation with Wembley Stadium, because you don't want to burn that bridge. You don't want to have a bad relationship with Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium is the Madison Square Garden of the UK, right? You don't want to burn that bridge. You don't want to have a bad relationship with them for future endeavors, right? Not to mention, if Wembley wanted to, they could take legal obligations, legal action against Eddie Hearn for, you know, securing a date and then having to back out and not putting on a venue. And he secured it quite some time ago, you know. And then Gerald Miller says something that I personally didn't like, that he says that, you know, if Dillian Whyte is just being stubborn at the time, you know, he needs to just go ahead and take the fight. What you mean? It's negotiation tactics, big baby. Come on, big baby, man. You gotta understand the business part. They don't have too many options. They don't have too many places to turn. Okay, so there's not too many corners. They're backing themselves into a dead end. So you got to demand. This is the time when you put your foot down, stand on your square, and demand what you could get out of this situation. What do you mean that Dillian Whyte is playing is being too stubborn and playing hardball and gonna let an opportunity pass? No, this is the perfect opportunity, due to the fact that they don't have too many options. They have you and they have him. What are they going to do? You stand on your square. You demand the stars, and you land on the moon. So Gerald Big Baby Miller said there's talks about it. It's just been based on Dillian Whyte doesn't really want the fight, right? They said if they can make the deal with me, then they're going to bypass Dillian Whyte and fight me in June. This is what Gerald Big Baby Miller is stating, okay? Dillian Whyte might miss an opportunity because he wants to be stubborn on certain numbers. It's not a bad offer. My ultimate goal is to get the title shot. I'm thinking about legacy first, and then the money will come. I understand what he's saying, right? But still in all, you have to maximize on your situation. You have to capitalize on these situations. You cannot let these opportunities pass. What do you mean? He can't be stubborn. It's not a bad deal. Maybe it's not a bad deal for you, but for him, he know his worth. Everybody's worth is totally different. For him, his worth is a different number than yours. So it's not a point of him being stubborn. It's about a point of him knowing his worth. And maybe Gerald Big Baby Miller, maybe you should up your ante and put a better price tag on your own worth, you know, and demand the stars and land on the moon. Right? Maybe you need to take heed what Dillian Whyte is doing. Dillian Whyte understands what's going on. He understands that their back is against the wall. He understands they don't have too many options. Right? So you need to capitalize on this situation as well. Right? So now Dillian Whyte is asking for the date to be changed from April 13th. But my thing is this. If Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua are going to change that date from April 13th, right, they just going to come on to the States and make his U.S. debut. If they're going to change the date from April 13th, they ain't going to change the date for Dillian Whyte and stay in the UK. They're going to change the date and then just listen. Okay, so you don't want the April 13th date? Then we might as well go to the States a couple of months later and fight Gerald Big Baby Miller, make our U.S. debut, and then wait out Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder winner, point blank and period. That's the tactics that Eddie Hearn is going to go. That's the route that Eddie Hearn is going to go. And you can't blame him as a businessman if that's the route he chooses to take with Dillian Whyte, right? So I'm certain that, I'm almost certain, man, as Gerald Big Baby Miller says, 50-50. He doesn't sound too confident that he's going to land the fight. I believe that Dillian Whyte will agree within the next couple of days and take the April 13th bout, because he knows that he'll get to a point where he squeezed as much juice as he can out of the lemon, right? And then he knows that he has to he's going to take that option due to the fact that, if Anthony Joshua does go the route of fighting Gerald Big Baby Miller here in the States, right? And after that fight, he's going to go the route of Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Dillian Whyte options of fighting Anthony Joshua is slim to none at that point in time, because I can't see Anthony Joshua facing him again in 2020 or something like that. If he comes stateside and fights Gerald Big Baby Miller in June, that makes the possibility of him fighting Deontay Wilder more and more likely. You understand what I'm saying? Because now he already made his stateside debut. The negotiations are going to get tighter and tighter, and the walls are getting tighter and tighter on them. And if Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury in dramatic fashion, it just gets that much closer to happening. So that's all I got for y'all, man. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. And one more thing, right? One more thing. That leaves Dillian Whyte to do what? Dillian Whyte, that's going to leave you to have to face either Gerald Big Baby Miller, right? Or that's going to leave you to have to face Luis King Kong Ortiz. Or maybe you go the route of facing Dominic Brazil, putting yourself in the driver's seat in a mandatory spot to face Deontay Wilder. And Deontay Wilder possibly hoping that Deontay Wilder, should he beat Tyson Fury, which is a tall task, should he get past Tyson Fury, and then can't reach an agreement with Anthony Joshua, you being the mandatory beating Dominic Brazil, that puts you in a position to get a shot at Deontay Wilder. So if that is the case, if Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte don't fight April 13th, you can expect to see Dillian Whyte sign with Al Heyman in the PBC. But that's all I got for y'all. It's your boy Blue. Peace.